The story of Peter Jean Hernandez, known to the world as Bruno Mars, is a masterclass in the evolution of the modern showman. Born on October 8, 1985, in Honolulu, Hawaii, Mars was raised in a family where music was not just a hobby, but the central nervous system of their existence. His father, Pete, was a Latin percussionist from Brooklyn, and his mother, Bernadette, was a singer and dancer from the Philippines. Growing up in the Waikiki entertainment circuit, young Peter was thrust onto the stage almost as soon as he could walk. By the age of 4, he was the world's youngest Elvis Presley impersonator, a role that taught him the fundamental mechanics of stage presence, vocal mimicry, and the art of the sell. This early immersion in the 1950s rock and roll aesthetic, followed by a stint as a little Michael Jackson, provided him with a foundational education in the history of pop stardom that few of his contemporaries can claim. After graduating from high school in 2003, Mars took the leap from the islands to Los Angeles. The transition was far from the immediate success his childhood stardom might have predicted. He was briefly signed to Motown Records, but the label struggled to market an artist who didn't fit into a specific genre box. This period of professional limbo forced Mars to pivot toward the behind-the-scenes machinery of the industry. He formed a production and songwriting team called the Smeezingtons with Philip Lawrence and Ari Levine. This move was crucial. It allowed him to deconstruct the anatomy of a hit. Through the Smeezingtons, Mars helped craft global smashes like Flo Rida's Right Round and CeeLo Green's Forget You. It wasn't until 2010 that he finally stepped back into the spotlight, providing the melodic hooks for B.O.B's Nothing on You and Travie McCoy's Billionaire, two songs that essentially introduced his smooth tenor voice to the global masses. Mars's debut album, Doo-Wops and Hooligans 2010, was a calculated explosion of vintage soul, reggae pop and contemporary R&B. Lead singles like Just the Way You Are and Grenade became inescapable anthems, showcasing a vocal range that was both technically precise and emotionally resonant. However, this peak was met with a significant personal challenge when he was arrested for cocaine possession in Las Vegas shortly after the album's release. Rather than allowing the scandal to derail his momentum, Mars addressed the situation with a blend of accountability and a renewed focus on his craft. He avoided a conviction through a plea deal and channeled his energy into his live performances, where he began to earn a reputation as one of the hardest-working musicians in the business, backed by his high-energy band, the Hooligans. The release of Unorthodox Jukebox in 2012 signaled a departure from the boy-next-door persona of his debut. Mars began to experiment with the gritty sounds of 1980s police rock, Locked Out of Heaven, and the soulful vulnerability of a lone piano, When I Was Your Man. This era proved his versatility, winning him the Grammy for Best Pop Vocal Album and leading to his first Super Bowl halftime show in 2014. His performance was a watershed moment. Critics who had previously dismissed him as a retro act were forced to acknowledge his elite musicianship and his ability to command an audience of over 100 million people. He returned to the Super Bowl stage just 2 years later, appearing alongside Beyoncé and Coldplay, effectively solidifying his status as a permanent fixture in the pantheon of pop royalty. In 2014, Mars collaborated with producer Mark Ronson for Uptown Funk, a song that would become a decade-defining phenomenon. The track's success, spending 14 weeks at #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, set the stage for his third studio album, 24K Magic, 2016. This project was a deep dive into the 1990s New Jack Swing and funk era, heavily influenced by artists like Teddy Riley and Babyface. The album was a commercial juggernaut and a critical darling, sweeping the 2018 Grammy Awards with 6 wins, including Album of the Year, Record of the Year, and Song of the Year. Beyond the glitz of the Versace on the floor aesthetic, the album demonstrated Mars's deep respect for musical theory and the technical traditions of R&B, further separating him from the increasingly digitized sound of modern pop. The early 2020s saw Mars take another unexpected turn by forming the super duo Silk Sonic with Anderson .Paak. Their 2021 debut single, Leave the Door Open, was a meticulously produced homage to 1970s Philadelphia soul and Motown. The project was a lightning in a bottle moment that managed to feel both nostalgic and incredibly fresh, eventually winning 4 Grammys in 2022. During this time, Mars also established a massive presence in Las Vegas with his residency at Dolby Live at Park MGM. While the residency became a staple of the Vegas Strip, it also invited tabloid speculation regarding his personal finances and alleged gambling debts. While these rumors were met with skepticism by those close to him, they added a layer of old-school Vegas lore to his persona, an artist who lived as hard as he played. As of March 2026, Bruno Mars has transitioned into a new, highly anticipated solo era. In late 2025, he collaborated with Lady Gaga on the power ballad Die With a Smile, a track that topped global charts and reminded audiences of his ability to deliver a raw, classic vocal performance. This was followed by the announcement of his 4th solo studio album, rumoured to be titled A Different Flavour, which he has teased as a multicultural celebration of his roots. Recent reports from his 2026 residency dates in Las Vegas suggest he is incorporating more Latin and Filipino musical elements into his set, a nod to the heritage that first sparked his interest in performance. His business ventures, including the successful Salva Ray Rum, have also continued to expand, marking him as a savvy entrepreneur who understands the value of his own cool. Today, at 40 years old, Bruno Mars stands as one of the few artists capable of bridging the gap between generations. He's respected by the elders of the industry for his technical proficiency, playing guitar, drums, piano, and bass with equal skill, and adored by younger fans for his charisma and viral-ready choreography. His legacy is not just the 15 Grammy Awards or the countless #1 hits, but the fact that he has kept the spectacle of live music alive in an era of digital disconnection. He remains a student of the greats, a master of the stage, and a testament to the power of a performer who genuinely loves the craft. Whether he's whispering a ballad or leading a 10-piece brass section through a funk breakdown, Bruno Mars is the quintessential entertainer of the 21st century.